Ladies and gentlemen, this movie really ticked me off. 2020's force of nature is false advertising at its finest. Now, if you watch this trailer, it gives some good vibes. Other than the really bad visual effects, which I will surely showcase here, this fake ass rain and this fake ass lightning, I was pretty interested when I came across this on Netflix because you had a pretty unique blend of Storm of the Century plus a heist. And then you throw in Mel Gibson in that picture. I was like, woo, this is gonna be pretty fucking good. Spoilers ahead, fuck this movie. This movie pushes Mel Gibson's name so fucking much that it should be sued. It should be sued for false advertising. Literally false advertising. Everything you see Mel Gibson do in the trailer is the only fucking screen time he has in this movie. I'm not mad that Mel Gibson's not the main character. I'm not. That's not my problem with this movie. My problem with this movie is that, for one, is Emile Hirsch's character supposed to be the lead in this movie? If so, you picked the wrong damn guy. Is Kate Bosworth's character supposed to be one of the leads? Because she feels like a background character. Not only does this movie sell you short of what it should have brought with the cast, the plot in itself is actually bare fucking minimum. You take that category 5 hurricane out of here, the plot really doesn't change. It's just there for a cosmetic look. So if you haven't seen this movie, let me try to break this down as simple as possible, because this movie, not a whole lot happens. The movie takes place in Puerto Rico. Emile Hirsch's character plays this officer named Cardillo, who teams up with this other new officer named Pena, and their job today is to go evacuate all of these people out of the building so they don't get flooded out from this hurricane. You see Mel Gibson's character, which is Ray, which plays an ex-NYPD cop. He plays the old man, I'm too old for this shit kind of thing. His daughter is Troy, played by Kate Bosworth. Now what this movie boils down to is that you have this main bad guy, John the Bishop, and he has a crew of men. There's only one fucking exit in and one fucking exit out, which is a fucking fire hazard, by the way. And they are looking for this painting, which is worth millions of fucking dollars. I cannot believe they spent $23 million on this project. But you know what? It serves them right only making just a little over $500,000 at the box office. Because this was a huge flop. And no, I'm not talking about the actors. I'm just talking about whoever the fuck greenlighted this project to happen. I want you to understand something. You have this premise on paper, it sounds intriguing. If you write this down, you're reading this script, it's like, okay, this is pretty interesting. You have a pretty stellar cast. But however, when this was finished editing in the editing room, who the fuck in the quality control, if there is one, said, hey, this is pretty kick-ass. Emile Hirsch, when he plays Cardillo, it was funny in the beginning because his demeanor is just like, I just don't give a fuck. This isn't my job. I don't want to do this. But throughout the whole movie, it seems like that bled in heavily to his real fucking job as being an actor. You talking about just bare minimum acting, one word fucking answers. And like I said, Kate Bosworth's character as Troy, Mel Gibson's daughter, piggybacks off of him. Overall, I feel like she did a better job, but at the same time, her screen time is neglected because your lead role just don't give a fuck. And the biggest disappointment of this movie is, spoiler alert, Mel Gibson dies, okay? I don't have a problem with that. That's not what I'm mad about. I'm very upset because you pushed his name hard in the trailer. Hard, so hard. Every bit of Mel Gibson you see in the trailer is all you get. And Mel Gibson does a great job in this. That's what I love about Mel Gibson. In this day and age, has he played this role before? Yes, he has. About a dozen times. Was it still entertaining? Yes. We always want to see fucking Mel Gibson suit up, put the vest on, which he does, and go shoot some fucking bad guys and kick some ass. What happens? He gets shot. Oh, I'm bleeding out. He has a very small fight scene once they enter this fucking room, because there's this fucking guy, is like ex-CIA, has this fucking room full of fucking weapons. They go there, beat the bad guy up, he gets shot, he's like, you know what, fuck it, let's go. They'll go out of the room, turn the corner, up the staircase, dead. Fucking dead. They keep him alive long enough to send a half-hearted fucking goodbye to his fucking daughter character, and that's the end of Mel Gibson's character. Again, I am not upset that he died. I am upset because this movie pushed his name so hard. In the trailer, you led the audience to believe that there's gonna be these great fight scenes with Mel Gibson, that there was gonna be this great cop duo that was kicking ass and taking names. Them cops being Mel Gibson and Mel Hurst. Would I recommend this movie? No, I would not. Out of the $23 million they spent to make this movie, it legitimately looks like they spent about $1,750,000 of that went in somebody's fucking pocket for a permanent vacation. Enough of me rambling for now, let's get on with the story. After Mel Gibson dies, it is Cordelia, Pena, and this gentleman named Bergkamp. Bergkamp is the guy that they've been after this whole time, who is in possession of the paintings. They go in, they find the paintings. Of course, they shoot Bergkamp dead. Why don't they shoot Cordelia and Pena dead at this point? I don't really know. I guess you have to have a movie. You have them going at it. You have Troy and Griffin. Troy is taking care of Griffin the best she can because Troy keeps his fucking pet tiger in this fucking room and he accidentally gets attacked by it, which comes into play later because Cordelia leads them into the room with the tiger, and that's how they get away at the end of the movie, which I saw that coming a mile away. Apart from all the other disappointments I've named in this movie, the ending is also very anticlimactic. For instance, you don't get to see the bad guy John the Bishop die, or his crew. Troy and Griffin are in the basement. They can't get out because there's bad guys everywhere. They don't know. They have to go down to the basement to find a way out. The basement is flooding, and they have to find a way out that way because that is the only way they're going to get out alive. They're in this huge basement. Water's up to here. Things are getting serious. Do you see them get out? No, you don't. It's like they didn't even have the time or even the idea to actually shoot a climactic scene for this. Yeah, you can shoot these cliche-ass fight scenes, and you can shoot these shootout scenes no problem, but you're really just gonna jump cut to them just being okay? Like, dude, like, come on. If I was the guy, the last of the Mohican, that had to watch this movie before it got to be released, and I saw this, my sincere answer or my sincere remark would be, hey, are you fucking with me? When the ending happens, it just happens. You don't see them escape. You don't see the bad guys die. It's just a jump cut. That's it. Like, what if, oh my God. I don't know. This movie was a letdown. I just hope the actors got a good paycheck because that is the only thing positive that can stem from this piece of fucking garbage. It's so bad at times it's funny. And it's not meant to be. This action thriller almost turned into a comedy movie. And I hate to sound like an asshole, but I mean, this is just embarrassing. One big thing also, if I'm just gonna pick this movie apart from front to back, I also think that the color grading in this is fucking awful. And that might not matter to most people. From somebody who edits every day, who makes films, that awful blue color grade that you used is just fucking garbage. And I know why they did it, okay? I get the gist of it. They are trying to create that cool, overcasted look of when it storms. But you just didn't do it correctly. Hey guys, it's Ray here. I just want to interrupt this for a second. I already had this video edited, but I actually want to take this time because I rant about these color grades in these movies, these $23 million projects like this one. And I want to break down the process of how to simply make this look so much better. This is a raw still from the movie. And as you can see, it's very bluish, but it's kind of unsaturated and washed out at the same time. I'm going to show you just like how a quick 30-second change can make this movie look so much better. Okay, the first thing you want to do when you film a movie is you want to set your white balance in the camera, which they might have done that on set. And they just threw this color grade on post-editing. I don't know, I wasn't there. But I'm going to fix this real quick and show you how much of a difference color grading makes a film. But before you do any kind of color grading, you want to do color correction. And the first thing I like to do, personally, is find the white of someone's eyes. Because regardless of what's happening, the white of your eyes is always going to be pure white for the most part. But since the set is overcast sky, you can see that it's still storming out. You got the rain for cosmetic look. We want to bring them blues back to really see what they was trying to achieve in the first place. In Adobe Premiere Pro here, you have basic correction, you got creative, you got curves here to match, you got color wheels and match, you have all kinds of things. If I just wanted to do this here, I would just take some here, go with the blues, try to lift them up, lift them down, move this slider in and in and in. You just got to play with your colors. Okay, that is my 30-second color grade. As you can see, this is the before, this is color correction. This is color grading just to bring that blue back to give that really stormy look. Now, this is just a 30-second color grade. I would never leave it like this. I think this is already a huge improvement. If I had more time on this, I would bring the shadows up a little bit. I would try to revert the colors back to the original as much as possible. So I would make these a little bit brighter. But yeah, see how much of a fucking difference that makes? Okay, my ranting's over. I mean, it starts out slow. Once everybody's on screen together, like Cardillo, Pena, Mel Gibson, and Troy and Griffin, for a small portion of the film, you think this is gonna go somewhere. But unfortunately, it does not. I wanted to like this movie. I wanted to find another gem that I haven't seen, a good action thriller with Mel Gibson and the other pretty good cast, but it didn't happen that way. And I'm just not sure what they're doing these days. I mean, I guess they're just taking these beloved 80s and 90s movie action heroes and just setting them in these low-ass budget movies to push the fucking product out and giving them a nice hunk of change. Which, I mean, good for them, but for the audience, it's like, fuck you, I got you, bitch. I mean, Mel Gibson's on the fucking cover. This movie could have been so intense. You have a Category 5 hurricane. You got a fight going on. You got guns. You got fighting. You just did it wrong. You just did it wrong. It wasn't entertaining. I legit almost turned the movie off. What this film is bait. It's 100% bait. They reeled you in. You saw the poster. You saw all these names. You wasted your fucking money. And this is the piece of shit that we got. Again, the only highlight in this movie is when everybody's on screen together. Mel Gibson's quite funny in this movie. You see everything starting to stir, and you think this is gonna be great, and then it just falls fucking flat immediately. After Mel Gibson's character Ray dies, and after a few bad guys are shot, that's really the only action sequences that you get. Yeah, there are other shootouts. Cardillo gets his fucking ass whooped multiple times. And I actually think that the main bad guy, John the Bishop, was actually missed underused too. I mean, he got his hands dirty, yeah, in the film, somewhat. Don't you want just that classic final badass fight scene between the lead character and the bad guy? That never happened. And I will say this for the 100th time. When the ending happens, you don't see anything. It just jump cuts to everybody's recovery, like it never happened. It's pretty bad. I've seen worse movies, I have, but this is definitely lower on the totem pole. If I'm gonna rate this movie, I'm gonna give this a 3.5 out of 10. And for those who are new to the channel, a 5 rating is not a bad movie. A 5 rating is just your normal run-of-the-mill, pretty decent watch. Matter of fact, I'll give this a 3. I'm changing my answer. I'm sticking to my guns. I tried to give it a little more because of Mel, but fuck it. I'm giving this movie a 3 out of 10. Would not recommend this movie. There is a reason that it flopped. This is just a cheap direct-to-video, paint-by-numbers action flick that couldn't give us the fucking basics. But that's the end of me ranting on this movie. Thank you guys so much for taking part of your day to kick it with me. I really do appreciate it. I love all you guys. Until next time, adios.